Today we're going to roast cauliflower. Now I know you think that this is a bland vegetable, but once we add spices, it adds a lot of flavor and it might just become your favorite vegetable like it is my favorite vegetable. Hi, I'm Aaliyah Millam. I'm the founder of the food blog Premeditated Leftovers and the author of the cookbook Prep Ahead Meals from Scratch. And today I'm going to show you my favorite way to roast vegetables. Now I have another one in my cookbook. It's Cajun cauliflower. So if you want even more spices, you can go ahead and make Cajun cauliflower from that recipe. But I wanted to talk to you first. I've already put a lot of cauliflower on. The entire stem is edible. You have two options when you're cutting your cauliflower off. You can just cut off a piece of stem and throw it down and add it to the meal. Or you can, let's see if I can find another one. This one, you could cut it in threes and just leave that long piece on the end. It is entirely up to you, but it is completely edible. So don't throw your cauliflower stems in the trash. Go ahead and use them and add them. They're just as delicious. They have the same flavor. Another long stem. I could cut it off, or I just tend to make nice long pieces and add it to the tray. So go ahead and make sure that you're using all of your cauliflower. We don't want any of it to go to waste. I actually grow cauliflower in the summertime. And look, here's just two pieces of stem, just throwing them in there. And so, you know, if you put all that time and energy into growing something, you don't want it to go into the compost heap. Okay. And you know what I do with these little pieces? I just brush them right in. I know they're little, but they're going to end up sticking to the other cauliflower and they will get eaten. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now for cauliflower, I like to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil per pound. I have 3 pounds here. I'm going to go with 4 tablespoons today. That's also a 1/4 cup if you don't want to measure it individually. I do it individually because it allows me to just have a little bit more control when I'm putting it over the vegetables. But the cauliflower, because it has those florets, the oil kind of sometimes disappears into those florets. So you might find that you need a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to toss this cauliflower with the oil and see if I feel like there's enough. I'm going to say that there's enough, but if you want a little bit more, go ahead and add some more. I think we're going to be okay. Cauliflower, olive oil, I just really feel like you can feel comfortable adding more and then it's going to be nice and healthy. Okay, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic seasoning, garlic powder, or this is granulated garlic. I buy this in bulk. And then 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and I use these really long wooden spoons to get in here at the bottom. I think I got these from Utensi. I think that's the name of the company, and it allows me to easily get down there. Okay. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use sea salt. And then I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. Now, because cauliflower is kind of plain, and then I'm adding all these white spices, I usually just add a little bit of parsley, 1 to 2 teaspoons, just to give it a little bit of color. You know, parsley doesn't bring much to the party flavor-wise. But look at my poor parsley bottle. It's almost completely empty. So we're just going to sprinkle what's left. Make do. Hope it's pretty enough. Okay. Then all I do is I toss. Just like I toss with the oil, I toss with the spices to make sure everything gets coated, all the sides get coated with spices. Now, sometimes people have a problem with cauliflower or broccoli giving them a stomach ache when they eat it raw, but if you actually cook it, it's less likely to cause any problems. They're both healthy. They're both great prebiotics. So if you can get these in your diet, your gut's gonna thank you. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven at 450 degrees for 8 minutes. And I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, I just pulled this out of the oven. It's been in for 8 minutes. And I'm just going to flip it over. You see how it's kind of gotten a little bit of a golden brown on one side. And we're just going to flip it over so the other side so it gets evenly cooked. And then I'm going to spread it back out. And then we're going to put it back in the oven at 450 degrees for 6 minutes. And then it's going to be toasty and ready for us to consume. Yum. This is truly my favorite vegetable. Okay, put it in the oven. All right, I just pulled the cauliflower out and look at that. It's just nice and golden brown in spots. Oops, one jumped ship. I get to eat that one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and serve this up. It is ready to be eaten. So that was 8 minutes at 450, another 6 minutes. I like to do it at for 8 minutes the first time instead of evenly dividing it, just because I find that it allows it to get just a little bit crispier on that first layer, and then flip it over and do 6 more minutes. So this is my favorite way to eat it, just with garlic and onion. But if you want something a little bit spicier, in my cookbook, Prep Ahead Meals from Scratch, I have a Cajun cauliflower. It has Cajun seasoning on it. It's really delicious. But go ahead and play around with the flavors. Another recipe that you could do, you could take the cauliflower, the Cajun recipe, and you could substitute chipotle spice. I've done that for my family as well. So you'll find the recipe for the Cajun cauliflower in here, as well as a recipe for making Cajun seasoning and chipotle seasoning if you want to try those. Go ahead, if you try this, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're not following me already, why not? Go ahead, do so. That way you don't miss out on any easy recipes.